Welcome, y'all.
Hey, Bri.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Who did you bring?
Oh, Kiki, of course.
Just me.
Bri,
Hey.
Kiki. One, I don't know if you've been listening, Bri, but she's not going to do the granny welcome for me anymore.
Aw.
So maybe when next time you come, you could learn the granny
Maybe.
welcome.
Maybe.
Granny substitute.
Yes.
It won't sound nearly as good, though.
We'll call you Meemaw Bri.
There you go.
Here we go.
Meemaw. I love that.
Meemaw.
Yeah.
Well, what's your grandma name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love that.
I love that.
A hint of old without being wrinkly.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I am wrinkly, but
Not like
No.
Granny.
No.
no, I despise Mama. Sorry, Mamas. I know I got some Mamas
Yeah.
listening. Don't like Mama.
It sounds like, mm.
It just, to me, sounds so old.
I feel like
No.
Granny sounds old.
My mom was called Granny.
Granny.
Yeah, it was fine. Well, she wouldn't be called Mama either, so. Okay, so enough of that.
Yeah.
What are y'all drinking?
I'm drinking a seltzer from Gilla.
Gilla Brewery.
Shout out to our
Shout
Yeah, I love Gilla.
local Gilla Brewery.
Mhm.
And I am shouting out to Redneck Riviera, hoping that one day, if John Rich happens to listen
What up, John Rich?
to the podcast, that he will hear me say how much I love his whiskey and how many times I've said it over the course of several podcasts.
At least 50.
I gave up
Absolutely.
Crown Royale for you,
Oh,
Mr. Rich.
all right.
Yeah, I do like it better than Crown.
My first love.
Well, it was, sometimes it doesn't always work out. So
Yeah.
anyway, what you drinking, Bri?
High noon tea.
In a neutral koozie.
Yeah.
She's-
I need a high
about
noon
that?
koozie. Somebody give me one.
that's that,
that vodka iced tea.
the
I
neutral,
love
that
it.
girl on
Yeah.
that commercial.
I love neutrals too, though.
All
I'm
right.
not really, I had one of those. I'm not like a super fan of that,
The teas don't have the carbonation,
which is
in it,
weird.
so I don't get all that.
Yeah.
I like the
That's
carbonation.
smart.
Yeah.
I do if I'm drinking something like that and
Yeah.
I'm expecting the
Yeah.
carbonation.
But these go down smoother.
Oh, okay. So you mean quicker.
Yes, absolutely.
Rapid hydration.
Every time.
So Bri with her smooth high noon and you with your 40 in your Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Harold is camera switching for us.
Thank you, Harold.
And I have to say to him, happy anniversary, my love.
Yay.
He came home from Home Depot with a ton of new Halloween decorations for me, and I didn't get him anything except the pleasure of being here,
That's right.
camera switching for us.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate you. He's nodding his head, folks. He's not happy. All right. Okay, we are going to go in this story. Before I start, I usually say this stuff at the end. Go to YouTube, please, and subscribe.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
all your friends. Get your meemaw, your mama, your granny, your yaya. Get all of them. If they don't know how to do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to hit that 1,000 subscriber mark.
Hell
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're on TikTok, Facebook. We're just on all the things.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
Are we on Insta?
I think we are.
Okay.
I think Antonio handles that for us as
Love
well.
Antonio.
Love Antonio. Okay. We're going to 2016 for this story.
Okay.
Pop culture.
Let's hear it.
The all-female version of Ghostbusters was released.
Really?
That's weird.
You didn't know about that?
No, I didn't follow any of the Ghostbusters.
Oh, so I
Oh.
grew up on the Ghostbusters shit.
That was demonic in our house. Anything
that's
involving
right.
anything
That's right.
haunted or trickery or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you wouldn't have been able to watch Harry Potter, huh?
No.
No, I didn't get to watch it till I was older, but my dad was a big Harry Potter dude.
Was he?
So he would take me to see the movies.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ashamed to say I didn't watch the all-female Ghostbusters because I just couldn't
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
it being as good as the original.
Right.
So, Pokemon Go
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember when that came out.
2016.
Yeah.
Kind of just seems like yesterday to
Right.
me.
Yes.
That would be 8 years ago.
It was a cool concept, though.
It kind of came and went. It didn't really, I mean,
There's probably some people still
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon
It's
and
still
going.
going. I know that.
Yeah, because I heard somebody say something about it the other day, and I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? That's a thing still?
Didn't you used to ride around to catch them with a
Yeah.
a few times.
Like,
I
hey,
took
no
him.
way.
And
Yeah,
I took all
I
three of
did.
them, and
Yeah.
they were like, "What are we doing?"
Like on the way home, just,
No, like she would like leave the house to take him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
To do the
We're
Pokemon
going
run.
He had to
on
do
a
the dishes
yeah.
first, though.
We're going on a Pokemon Go excursion.
Yes.
Treasure hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, Orange is the New Black
I love that show.
came to an end.
I only got through the first few episodes.
That
and
was
it
us.
just,
We watched it too. And I was like, man, I would just watch porn if I want to see that. I'd like
That's
a
true.
little bit of story.
Yes.
That's
you know.
true.
So anyway, that's what was going on in 2016. And that's when the crime today ends.
Okay.
But we're going to roll back a few years and I'm going to tell you about a couple people who you're going to get their names kind of stuck in your head.
All right.
Kenneth Nix. He was born on September 19th, 1946 in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay.
You know, Louisiana got to work its way in there some kind of way.
Yep.
He was the oldest of 7 kids.
Okay.
How many kids were?
7.
Y'all
I'm
had-
the second oldest.
Good Lord, have mercy. How many, Bri? Was it just you and like
Just 2.
just 2 of y'all?
Yeah.
There was 3 of us. I can't imagine having 7 kids
No.
of my own.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
So he was the oldest. So he loved restoring cars and working on motorcycles.
Okay.
After high school, he went to a technical school to follow his love of mechanics. Ken was kind of a big deal in Lake Charles because he opened his own Texaco service station.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah. And this is back when gas stations were also where you go get your car fixed.
Okay.
Like we didn't have Jiffy Lube and collision centers and all this stuff. Like you went to the gas station.
Gas station / body shop.
Mechanic, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oil change. Well, probably back then most people did their own oil changes, but yeah, anything that
I know
happened.
this shit's expensive now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Ken was the youngest Texaco gas station owner in Lake Charles,
Cool.
Louisiana.
Wow.
Yeah, good guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
In his 20s, Ken met a woman named Manita. They fell in love and they were married in 1966.
All right.
This is even before I was born.
Yeah, I think my dad was 66.
So they started a family. They had a son and a daughter. Not too long after they got married, it was like,
Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
yeah, son, daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And then not too long after their daughter was born, Ken moved the family to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, they wanted to be closer to Meemaw.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
Hers or his?
I don't know.
Okay.
I kind of got the feeling it was his mom and their, you know, the kids.
How he
That
made
was
it to Lake Charles.
well. I mean, Texas and
Yeah.
Texas is right there by Oklahoma. Lake Charles is pretty close to Texas. I don't know. I'm drawing thin straws.
You know,
here.
all that, all those stories are running around trying to untangle that shit in my brain.
Oh,
Before I,
sorry.
no, you are good.
Do you lose sleep at night?
Sometimes. It's often that I do.
Okay. So after they moved to Tulsa,
Mm-hmm.
they had a third child, another son. And that was all they had, 3 kids. Unfortunately, Ken and Manita came a hard times with their marriage and they
Mhm.
separated, and you know how that goes,
Yeah,
right?
marriage ain't easy.
It ain't easy.
Nope.
The kids stay with their mom, Manita. Now I'm about to come out of left field at you, but there's no other way to say it. On August 29th, 1974, Manita committed suicide.
Oh.
Yeah. Ken and Manita's oldest child at the time, the son,
Mhm.
was 7 years old.
Mm.
So I'm thinking the other 2 were like 6 and 4.
Yeah, young.
So, and of course, Ken took his kid.
Yeah.
Like, there was
Oh, yeah.
no question of
Yeah.
him doing that. He
That's good.
took his kids into, his home. So over the next 10 years, Ken married and divorced 3 more times.
Oh,
Holy
wow.
Common denominator there, bro.
I mean,
Man.
I really feel like he was trying to find a mom for his kids.
Yeah.
You know, when you're trying that hard,
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't marry him.
I don't know.
See if it works out. And then,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, people back then didn't really live together or anything
True.
like that.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
There's none of
I
that.
didn't really realize who they were until.
And
Oh, we're married.
like, I mean, he was 20 and he had like a gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they started everything in their life was
Mhm.
way earlier.
Mhm.
So even though Ken's love life wasn't going well in that time frame, his professional life was great.
Good.
In 1980, he opened his own business. It was called Inland Divers,
Okay.
professional commercial scuba diving.
Ooh, that's fun.
Wow.
Well, it was the kind where they could go scuba and pull out a vehicle that was submerged, or if
like
there was
crime stuff, kind of.
Kind of like rescue scuba.
not just that, but also like if there was a big boulder in the dam that needed to be moved, they could go
Like a scuba construction crew.
sort of. Yeah. And it was a big success.
Well, yeah.
So even after 4 failed marriages, Ken did not give up. In 1984, he met Judith Bailey. Judith was divorced and had 2 daughters, 16-year-old Angela and 12-year-old Shelley.
Okay.
I'm thinking Ken's kids are like 17.
Yeah, they got to be a
15,
bit
you know?
older after.
Yeah.
Like a blended family. now.
Yes, they do. At this point in her life, she did not want a relationship. She's like,
I don't blame her.
Well, at that point, I mean,
well, when I tell you, anyway, growing up, she spent most of her time in church. She was born and raised in Texas. She focused on her studies and mostly kept to herself. But eventually, Judith moved to Tulsa to be near her parents. The preacher's son was smitten with Judith. You know, we talk about some preacher man
Right.
on the show.
The preacher's kid.
Yeah, Judith and the preacher man's son started dating. They married in the late 1960s.
Courting.
Judith was an accountant. Yay, Judith.
Go, Judy.
it's impressive.
It is. I mean, think about
Yeah.
the time
Right.
that this is. Judith was an accountant, and her preacher man had 2 kids.
Okay.
Their marriage didn't last long after the 2 girls were born.
Wow.
There was drinking and infidelity.
Oh,
Uh,
fuck.
Preacher man.
Dirty
preacher man. And Judith was over it, and she left.
Yeah.
Preacher man. You go, girl. She was ahead of her time anyway, being
Oh, yeah.
being an accountant in the early 70s or
Yeah,
whatever.
Right.
Okay, so like I said, when Ken met Judith, she wasn't really looking for anything. She didn't want to get into any relationship. But Ken was determined. And he pulled out all the stops to woo her.
I bet.
She had never been scuba diving before.
Ooh.
So guess what he did? He took her scuba diving.
Yeah.
And then he proposed to her under the water.
Not quite that quick, but she did love it.
Exhilarating, I'm sure.
They got along great. They both loved the same. Like, they were passionate about this. Ken's kids said Judith was great. They never fought with each other, like the 4 ex-wives,
Right.
the kids, where they were always fighting in front of the kids
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So after about a year of dating, they got married. And this was 1985.
4th marriage.
Fifth
Ugh.
5th.
marriage.
5th time's the charm.
That's a long, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And at this point, they're like 39 and 40 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
You know, that's not, I don't feel like that's super old, but
No.
No.
I don't-
their
I don't.
kids are kind of grown. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, this was what I found weird. The way I'm going to word this. Shortly after the wedding, Judith moved in with Ken and his kids.
Okay.
Now, mid 80s, are we still not like living together? You know
It
what
was
I
probably
mean?
frowned upon.
But you waited till after you got married, like literally
Yeah.
shortly after the wedding. Like, you didn't go that night to his house, the wedding night.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That's what I thought. Maybe it was just the wording of it. But Judith's daughters stayed with their dad because they were in high school, and they like,
yeah, to move would
he
have been a
lived
big
in
deal.
the district, and they wanted to stay at
Yeah.
their same school and blah, blah, blah. I didn't think it had anything to do with her. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just the situation was right. So anyway, Ken and Judith focused on growing the scuba diving business. Of course, her being an accountant, it was like logical
Yes.
for her to step in and do
Yes.
the administrative.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yes. He probably didn't like that because he likes cars and motorcycles, and he doesn't want to sit there and, I wouldn't think, deal with the books. But
yeah.
Yeah.
their personal and professional lives thrived for years.
Wow.
Unfortunately, after nearly 25 years of
Holy
marriage,
shit.
the couple split up.
What?
I feel like it's not even worth
At
it at that point. It ain't even worth it at that point.
I wrote, why? You have invested 25 years
Right.
Of time.
Why jump ship
Yes.
now?
Shit.
That's crazy.
So I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
This is what it sounds like to me was the problem. Ken raised his kids to be independent and not ask anybody for anything.
Right.
Okay.
As you should.
Yeah.
Judith was the exact opposite.
Oh.
She was a smother.
She constantly gave her girls money. She
Oh.
was constantly bailing them out, helping them.
Enabling.
Yes, constantly.
That's
She coddled
big
them.
thing.
Mm.
Yeah, but
But still.
25 years of it, and now
And
you're
that's
just like,
why y'all are
yeah.
divorcing. 25 years is a long, fucking long ass time.
Yeah.
Welcome to me and Harold.
Look, that's going to be me and Bryce.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It's not too much. It gets
No,
better.
I'm saying like to
Trust me.
start over,
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
be way too
Yeah.
much.
Well, that was apparently what they fought about. Okay,
We're
maybe
getting divorced because we parent differently.
Well,
After-
at this point, this is
our kids are adults.
They're out.
right.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't know.
Sus.
Maybe they just couldn't communicate. Maybe they couldn't meet, halfway in the middle, or I don't know what. They divorced in 2011.
Golly.
So, even though they had been divorced for 5 years, they still spent a lot of
I
time
bet they
together. Neither of them could let go.
Of course.
Judith and Ken lived in separate houses, but Judith stayed at Ken's house from time to time.
Maybe she was trying to just make a stand.
I
Or
don't
he
know.
was.
I don't know. They would eat dinner together. I'm just like,
Well, because when you're married for that long, you become best friends. You don't.
well, then, if you spend that much time together after you're divorced, why couldn't y'all
Just
work
fucking
it out?
suck
Right.
it up.
Suck it up.
Suck it up, bitch.
Okay, so that's a little history of Ken and Judith Nix.
I think we had Judith last story we did.
I hope it wasn't
Because we
the
said
same
Judge
one.
Judy. Not this Judith, but it was a
It was the Kelsey story.
Was it mine?
No. The girl was in Vegas. Remember the doctor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His girlfriend
Was,
Judith.
yes.
Okay. March 21st, 2016.
All right.
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Okay. I guess is like a suburb of Tulsa.
Right.
I'm guessing.
If you live there, you know.
I know. So people who live in Tulsa, let me know if Broken Arrow is near there. At 9:11 p.m.,
Oh.
911
Ooh.
got a phone call
That's weird.
from 69-year-old Judith Nix.
Okay.
She told the dispatcher that her ex-husband had passed away and she saw a gun by his hand. Her voice did sound shaky to me.
Like she really felt like that.
Yeah, like this was like, I mean, get that adrenaline rush when you find
Yeah.
somebody dead,
No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Judith told the operator that she had dropped by the house to bring him some supper. I mean, of course, we know it's Ken
Right.
in the bed. Police were dispatched to the home of 69-year-old Kenneth Nix. When they arrived, Judith was in the front yard and appeared distraught. The officers found Ken in the master bedroom, and they could see right when they got in there that he was deceased.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Police noted a gun under his hand. He had an injury to the left temple, and blood was running down his face. There was also blood on his shirt. It appeared that Ken had committed suicide.
Right.
The police officers called out detectives to investigate. I did not know when something appeared to be a suicide that they called out detectives.
Oh, yeah.
I just figure like the medical examiner would come and
Right.
they do. They still have to investigate that.
It just really depends on how far they have to investigate.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway,
I would say that if it's suspicious, they're going to investigate it more. Like for Josh, it was a right-handed thing and he's left-handed.
Mm.
That's the only thing that was suspicious about it.
Yeah.
well, in this case, the officers that were on scene, they thought it was suicide and they called detectives.
So,
maybe
yeah, that
they're
is
not
a little
qualified.
Odd.
But
Yeah,
maybe
that
they're
is
not
weird.
qualified to make that
To
judgment
say, hey,
call.
this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Judith, like I said, she was outside talking to the cops. She was crying. She said she was worried this day would come.
Oh.
So he must have been,
Ken was in a tremendous amount of pain.
Wow.
He had neuropathy.
That's the worst.
His son said he was on methadone for it.
Oh, wow.
What the actual fuck?
That's a lot.
He may have gone through every other medication.
I don't know. Okay.
That's a lot.
According to Judith, Ken had talked about suicide in the past.
Chronic pain will do that to you. For sure.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Okay. The detectives are asking her questions. When was the last time, you saw Ken, blah, blah. She said she had been at Ken's house the day before.
I was going to ask you that whenever she found him, like how long was he there?
Well, we'll get to that part. But she said she had come to the house the day before around 4:30.
Okay.
But she didn't stay long because he was grumpy and tired. And in
She
pain.
knew.
Probably in pain.
Yeah, she knew.
Yeah, on the day she discovered Ken's body, Judith said she had called him several times and he never answered the phone.
Okay.
She decided to bring Ken some chicken for dinner and she got to his house around 9 p.m.
That's late.
Well, the call, I don't know.
Hey, Brian.
Me and Harold go.
I'm like, that sounds like a booty call.
Well, it could have been.
Maybe.
Dinner and a show.
But remember, he wasn't answering the phone. So if anybody was booty calling, it was her.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring him some dinner and get me some.
Bring him
Ain't no
some
shame in
chicken.
Judy's game.
Now, I wonder if it was fried chicken or baked chicken.
Probably fried.
Oh, yeah. And, okay. So she said she decided to bring him some dinner and arrived at the house around 9. And she said that's when she found him dead. She noticed a gun by his hand. And she was like, that's how I found him.
Obviously.
And at this point in the questioning, Judith became physically distraught. And the police are like, are you okay? And she's like, I don't think so. She's having chest pains.
Oh.
Ooh, fuck.
So EMS was called and they took Judith to the hospital. But as they're loading her up in the ambulance, Judith was like, can somebody please call my daughter Shelly? Because my dog is here at Ken's house and I need her to come get my dog.
Oh.
Yeah. Why are you making a face?
Because I always think the people who are super distraught like that are doing that for a show.
The chest pains or the dog?
Just no. her being physically distraught.
Oh.
I guess that's my I watch too many TV shows mentality.
Totally get it, but I'm putting myself in that position.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I would probably start having chest pains before I could even call 911
Right.
if I were in that situation.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, now you're freaking out when you've already called and people are there.
Well, you're
maybe
freaking
you're just realizing it. Just
It's like a real now.
Yeah.
It's like you're in shock maybe at first.
Yeah.
I
But
guess.
she got there around 9.
911 she called.
She called 911.
Yeah, I mean, it was
so-
quick.
Yeah. 911, she called 911.
Which
Detective.
was perfect.
I know. I
That's
could
so
That's why I
weird.
made a point of saying it.
Yeah.
So she's getting this is all happening within an hour
Yeah,
of her finding
sounds quick.
his body.
Yeah.
So she goes to the hospital. Detectives go back in Ken's house and they need to look around. They're waiting for the medical examiner to get there. And I got confused because I was watching a documentary. And I told you earlier that one of the police said there was a gun under Ken's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point in the documentary, the detective that is talking says there was a gun in Ken's hand.
Oh.
To me, that's two
Completely different scenarios.
I feel like that's huge.
Yeah.
When you're talking
In
about
or under.
suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel like if you shoot yourself, that gun's not staying in your hand.
But would it be under your hand?
I don't think so.
It'd be like,
Like placed so perfect. I don't think
yeah,
so.
no.
So I'm not super clear on where the gun was. I'm getting conflicting.
Mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the medical examiner arrived at Ken's house. The ME saw that the blood on Ken's head was dry. Also, lividity was starting to form.
What's lividity?
We talked about this before. So when you die, say you're laying on your back, your blood starts pooling toward your back and the back of your legs and your shoulder. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a bruise that starts appearing
Okay.
from your blood pooling. Whatever way you're laying, but
That's how
gravity,
it starts.
The gravity is going to take it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
But lividity doesn't happen quickly. It takes a few hours for lividity to start happening.
Sus. My sus meter is going off.
Is it?
Yes.
Red flags, red flags. So from these facts, it appears Ken has been dead for a while.
Okay.
The ME determined that Ken died around 7:30 that morning.
Whoa.
Okay, but before we go on the sus meter, she didn't see him. So he very well could have killed himself and been there.
True.
You know, it's not like they're married and they still live together and she's cleaning house while there's a dead body, you know?
There till
the day before. So he could have, which it's not sus at this point. So I take my sus back.
It is, though, 14 hours before Judith called 911.
Right.
It didn't just happen.
Right.
Okay.
Huh.
So get this.
What you get?
The medical examiner started looking a little closer, cleaned off some of the blood on Ken's head, and discovered 2 bullet holes.
Oh.
Ooh, no suicide.
You can't do that twice.
No suicide.
How you going to shoot yourself and then shoot yourself again?
That doesn't happen.
Twice in the head.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been why they called
What? The medical examiner?
investigators in.
No, because nobody knew this until the medical examiner got there and got the blood off and started looking. Nobody knew there was 2 bullet holes. Now insert sus here.
Yeah.
Sus. It's super sus.
All right.
But are we sus for Judith?
I don't know yet.
Hmm.
We got to finish the story.
We'll see.
So there's more.
Was there a side piece?
So we were talking about gravity a second ago.
Right.
Think about blood is going to go the way gravity, you know, if you're standing up, blood's going to go
going down. Yeah.
You're laying like it, it's going that way. So what wasn't matching up was the way the blood stains were on his shirt compared to the position
How he was
they
positioned.
found him in. It wasn't adding up. So we get more red flags.
Double sus.
Yes. And I wrote, can you say homicide?
Fully and completely.
Because they know it's not suicide at this point. So they start going through the whole house. There was no sign of forced entry. There was no sign of a struggle. It didn't appear that anything had been stolen. The dinner that Judith brought, still on the kitchen counter.
That poor man didn't even get to eat Judith's last meal.
I know.
That's so shitty.
They did find something good, however. Something that could help.
Okay.
A security camera. Now, I know you and I have talked about security cameras in the house and how you feel.
I ain't here for it.
No.
It's just, but the more and more my kids act like feral fucking animals, like I wish I could have, or just
kind of want
And then
look
you
at them
can
and be like,
make
you
them-
stupid motherfuckers.
And then make them watch their behavior.
I'm going to put them in a dark room, flip that light on and be like, so what do you have to say about yourself?
Yes.
I know what you
One
Play it.
swinging light bulb over their head.
play it back for him.
They're cuffed to the kitchen table.
Did you take the last Lay's bag potato chips? I swear I didn't. But
Swear
you
again.
did.
Yes.
Swear my ass.
Well, that's what they're hoping, that they could catch something on the
I
camera.
wonder why he had cameras.
Inside the
I don't
house
know.
at that
Interesting.
time. Too.
Well,
Yeah,
and
like-
his
Well,
age.
it's 2011.
But at his
No, it's
age.
2016 when this
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
So that's not that
But
bad.
his
Not too bad.
age, to me,
yeah.
I don't know. My dad was very
70-year-old's going to be like, yeah, let's put
my
cameras.
dad was a super tech savvy until the moment he died.
My dad is, of course, not 70-something, but he'd be super against that.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yours
No,
would.
my
yours
dad
would
had
be
a-
fine. Your mom would hate it.
My dad had this shit creepy as fuck. Like, he had him inside, outside. In his computer room, he had like 12 screens
so
up
weird.
so he could
Wow.
see all the different. Yeah.
No, I'm never gonna be like
Yeah,
that.
I just want one on my kid.
Well,
Yeah,
Ken
like a-
didn't go as
in the
far as
living
my
room.
Like a
dad.
drone.
Yeah, he didn't go as far as my dad. He had the one in the kitchen that was pointing toward the master bedroom. So this is good news, right?
I know, but
Yeah.
that's weird.
I know.
Toward the master bedroom.
Maybe she was coming in and like molesting him at night or something.
Possible. He needed to make sure.
God.
But like, I had a good sensation last night. Let me find out who it was.
So police took the camera and they sent it off to the lab. And
Right.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
So by now, Shelly has arrived at the house to pick up the dog. Shelly is Judith's
Daughter.
one of Judith's daughters.
Okay.
And she makes a passing comment while she's there.
She said, let me eat that fried chicken mama left.
Ooh, that smells good. I'm so hungry. I know it's 10 o'clock at night, but
I
I'm
need that.
starving. She said she had been there earlier in the morning when her mom was there.
Oh, Judith, you dirty bitch.
The plot thickens.
Dirty, dirty Judy.
Yep.
So remember, Judith said she wasn't there since the day before at
How are you
4:30.
just going to lie like that?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Somebody was lying. We don't know who's lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why the hell?
Is daughter lying? Is Shelley lying? Was Judith distraught when this was all going on and she just forgot she had been there that morning?
It's possible. I'll give Judy a little slack.
Police are like, Shelley, we need you to come on down to the station.
Whoops.
And
She's like, no, I'm just here to get the dog. I swear. Like, I'm good.
They didn't take her right then. She went the next day.
Oh.
So
She had to get her shit together.
March 2nd. They found him on 21st. 22nd, she went. All right. Shelley's 47.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
She's grown.
This the bitch whose mama helping her pay her bills.
I'm not the one. My kids are lucky to have food in the pantry, bro.
Yeah, but you're not asking nobody for money. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Mine don't have nothing anyway.
But you ain't asking nobody to help
Fuck
them.
no.
All right. Police are like, come in. Day after the body was found, she goes in.
Mm-hmm.
Investigators started by asking Shelley to tell them about Judith and Ken's relationship. Makes sense. That's her daughter.
Yeah.
They've been together a long ass time.
Yeah. More than half of her life.
Yeah. Shelley claimed that Ken was hostile towards Judith.
Wow.
He abused her.
Oh, God.
He pushed her around.
Oh.
Shelley's spilling all the tea.
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm.
It became clear that Shelley didn't like Ken and he didn't like her back.
Uh-oh.
Neither one of the daughters, from what Shelley's saying, the other daughter's Angela.
And they were older than his kids, too.
I think they were a little bit older. Yeah. And I can't remember from what I told y'all which one's older, but I mean, they're
grown now.
Yeah. They're in their 40s at the least.
Yeah.
At the very least. Maybe one of them's in their 50s.
Must have made so much of an impression that she still felt like that, too.
What you mean?
Right.
Like that they hated him still.
Oh, well, if the cops are getting that, I mean, she's not saying that.
Yeah.
They're just getting that impression from what she is saying.
Yeah.
And she says she went to the house to meet her mom that morning so her mom could give her some money.
Of course.
But she never went in the house. Her mom met her at the door, gave her the money, and
it was
she
a
left.
drive-by ATM.
Yes, exactly. So if Ken was dead around 7:30, technically when Shelley came by there to get the money, he could have already been dead, depending on what time she came.
Judy would have known.
Mm-hmm. So
terrible.
The investigators are like, we feel like Judith and Shelley are lying.
Oh.
Both.
Both.
So they arrested Shelley on the spot.
Oh, wow.
Did they have Judy in custody at this point?
Judy's still at the hospital.
Okay.
They arrested her for accessory to murder.
Oh. Fuck.
I didn't know you could get arrested.
That was so aggressive.
30-minute conversation and you're cuffed.
I drove by and got some cash from my mom. My bad.
You're an accessory to murder. What the
That's
shit?
wild.
I know. I'm sure there's more to this story, but
Yeah.
So the police were hoping that by arresting Shelley,
Mom would come.
Mom would feel guilty and come clean about what really happened.
Okay.
But
That's good on the police. That might have been like,
Did it
I mean,
backfire,
I get
though?
it, but like, can you just arrest them? Like,
arrest me for some dumb shit.
well, I don't even know if anyway. So more information started rolling into the Broken Arrow Police Department. Now this part might get a little confusing. So I'm going to try to make it.
I'm focused.
Did you take your medicine today?
I did. Can't you tell I'm quiet? Oh, I have do not disturb and my alarm to eat went off. I'm so sorry.
Do we need to stop the recording?
No.
Hold on, guys, while I gotta eat.
My blood sugar's low.
No.
All right. Remember I told you Judith had two daughters, Shelley and Angela.
Yeah.
Shelley's the one they just arrested.
Right.
The other daughter, Angela, has an ex-husband named Todd.
Todd's a convicted felon.
He may be. I don't know that. So what I'm getting is all the people in the story are getting married and divorced, basically.
I mean, they're just a mess.
Because he's
like a full circle.
He's an ex-husband. So
Mm-hmm.
Todd, the ex-husband of Angela, called the Broken Arrow Police Department and told them that he had information related to Ken's
he's about to out her fucking ass.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Todd's like, y'all don't have the whole story.
Okay.
Y'all don't know all the pieces to the puzzle. So Todd told detectives that around noon, this is the day, so we're backing up, Ken was discovered at 9. This is noon that same day. That Angela and Shelley showed up at Todd's house with a crazy story.
When you say 9, are you talking about 9 in the morning when she found him?
What you mean?
9/11 was PM.
9/11 p.m.
Okay.
Because remember, she brought dinner over.
So this is the next day.
No, this
No.
is day of.
So we're backing up a
Oh,
little.
prior to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he died at 9 p.m.
So we're talking about before.
We're talking about noon that same day.
Okay.
Angela and Shelley show up at Todd, who is Angela's ex-husband's house.
Yes. Sorry.
They got a cray-cray story.
All right.
They told Todd that Judith had shot Kenneth.
What?
He's like, why are you telling me?
Don't invite me into this
I
shit.
mean-
I am not part of your shit show.
Yeah.
Go tell the police.
Don't tell me anything.
Yeah. Plus, I'm your ex-husband. Why are
Get the
you
fuck.
even at my house?
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't say that. I'm just paraphrasing for him.
Well, I would feel like that.
So while they're at his house, they're discussing how to help their mom. They're talking about fleeing to the Philippines.
Bro.
There's so many places you can flee.
The
Why-
Philippines.
Why
Yep.
the Philippines?
They talked about staging the scene to look like a robbery.
Oh,
Okay, that would have been a great idea, except for y'all didn't do that.
right.
Yeah.
Idiots.
So they talked about all this shit, and Todd's telling the cops, like, he's telling the ladies, y'all need to call the police and turn yourselves
You
in or
dumb
fucking
bitches.
report this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
get your ass out of my house.
Yeah. Stop telling me. I don't want to be an accessory. They're going to arrest me
Yes.
next.
What was that accessory to witnessing a murder?
Yes.
He's going to be accessory to hearing about the
He heard about it, so
hearing
he's
about
guilty.
the murder. Yeah, from his ex-wife. So he's telling the police all this story, and he says, "Look, I'm going to tell you, these 3 ladies,
Are nuts.
are loyal to each other.
Oh.
They are not going to roll over.
I get
Okay.
that.
Yeah, they're not going to roll. Ride or die, these bitches.
All day.
All day.
Damn.
So what investigators feel like they need now is a motive. Like, how are we gonna catch them and take them to jail and
Yes.
say any of these women did this if we don't have a motive?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know actually who pulled the trigger at this point. Is it Judith?
Well, we know it wasn't Kenneth.
Yeah.
So where
That-
are we going now?
That is what we do know.
we do
we
now.
know it was not Kenneth.
Yes, twice.
So around this time, as they're finding all this stuff out, the lab comes back with the security camera footage.
Nice.
The information from the camera was that there was no information.
They erased it.
And they couldn't recover any video footage.
Dirty.
So maybe somebody erased it, like you said.
Yeah.
I
So,
don't-
but it was a real camera. It wasn't like
it was
I have a camera, be scared type thing.
no, like when you go to the grocery store or convenience store and someone gets robbed, then police show up. They're like, "Oh, that camera doesn't work. It's fake."
Yes.
No, this was a real
Okay.
camera.
Real camera.
Yeah, but there was
Damn.
nothing on it.
Mm.
So at this point, investigators go to the hospital and talk to Juju.
Old Judy.
Judy's sitting up in the bed,
Judy's bitch ass.
and she told the police, "I know y'all arrested Shelley. I'm ready to come clean."
Oh.
Oh.
So the detectives listened to her story while she was in her hospital bed.
Hmm.
She said Ken was in poor health and was getting worse by the day. He was both mentally and physically exhausted,
It's a mercy kill.
tired of being in pain. But Judy said, "I haven't been totally honest with y'all. Ken was lonely and needed someone at the house. The problem was Ken was impossible to live with because of his health issues."
Hmm.
So she's making it sound like things went, awry because
He was miserably in pain.
like she couldn't deal with it anymore. But why you still going and bringing him chicken?
Feeding that, you
bitch?
still feeding that motherfucker.
And tapping that ass, apparently.
Obviously. So they had been married so long. I would imagine he was probably still in the same house.
He lived in the house that they had been.
So she already knew the ins and outs. She knew to wipe the fucking camera, all that shit.
She told the police that about 10 years earlier, Ken just went off on her about the amount of money she owed him.
That's dirty.
Now, I'm going to say this. Now, I know things are different today. We've talked about this.
We have talked about this.
How young people today, and I'm calling y'all young people. Is that offensive?
No.
Okay. Young people today, y'all keep y'all's accounts separate. People that are our age, which these people would be a little bit older than us, we kept our money our money together in the same account. Like whatever money
we have two. We have two separate accounts.
Yes. Well, I kind of got the feeling that Ken and Judith were
still together.
Like us, they were old school. They had all their money together. But he was basically saying she owed him $21,000 because of all the money she had given to her kids. He's like, bitch, I don't give money to my kids. You ain't giving money to your kids. And so, I don't know. So now she's kind of saying there was money problems.
So I killed him because I owed him $21,000.
Well, she told him, I don't have.
Well, yeah.
I don't have the money, you know? And the cops were like, was he low on money? Did he need money? She's like, no, he always had money. He just always wanted more money. So also remember,
everybody wants more money.
Well, yeah. I ain't killing somebody over it.
Right.
Shit. Like Shelley told the police, Judith started in on Ken was abusive. Yes. Right there in the hospital bed, Judy's telling the same story that her daughter Shelley was telling.
Now, Judy had only been married one time before Kenneth.
Correct. Preacher man. Preacher man's son.
The golden son.
Yes. Yeah. Judith told police that Kenneth threatened her all the time, both verbally and physically. So you hung on for 25 years.
Right.
Then you got out. Then you went back.
You keep going back, bitch.
That's a little odd.
Yeah. So the police are like, they're trying to, okay, let's just.
Yeah, they're trying not to be like, bitch,
right.
Really?
They're trying to be like us right
fucking
now.
Get the fuck with that shit.
Get to step in.
Yeah, what's the real shit?
So they said, okay, well, did Kenneth like threaten you that morning? So, you know, she's like, yes, he wanted the $21,000. He said if I gave him that, he would call it a day. He wouldn't fuss about the money anymore.
Like, I got chicken for you, you bastard.
I got $10 worth of Rouse's chicken for you. No, maybe they don't have Rouse's in Oklahoma. I think they just go east.
I don't know.
So Judith told him that she didn't have the $21,000. And she said when he confronted her about this, he had a gun in his hand.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
And if you don't give me the money, he said,
give me my goddamn money, boy.
I'm going to kill you and they'll never find your body.
Oh God, dog.
Okay.
He's getting true crime podcast on the shit.
Kenneth got dirty.
Yeah, he did. So she says she started scuffling with him, trying to get the gun away from him.
Okay.
And she said, these are her words. Somehow, some way, I managed to get the gun away from him.
Yeah.
I twisted it out of his hand.
Can you imagine two geriatrics having a scuffle?
Fuck. I didn't before now, but thank you. So she gets it from him, and of course,
bop, bop.
The gun goes off.
Of
I love when they say it goes off.
The gun goes off in the struggle. Because all 10 of our fingers were on the trigger.
Right. Twice.
Yeah. All 20 of our fingers. So the detectives were like, so how many times do you think the gun went off? And she said, I think it was twice.
I bet you did.
Oh, I'm sure.
Judith, you dirty bitch.
Y'all, how you going to, okay, let's just say she's telling the truth. How you going to get so lucky that number one, you get a gun away from a man? Because
Never.
we do know, despite the fact that we hate it, we are the weaker sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you do happen to get it away from the man, which nobody believes.
If I got in a tussle with my husband, I'd be on the ground in a fucking second.
No way.
Like my man is like a bulldozer.
I think Kenneth could have brought Judith down.
Even in the geriatric.
Even,
yes.
You know, with his
in his methadone fuel.
Yes.
You know, pain.
Yes.
But my point is, even if you believe her and she somehow got the gun away from him, she managed to shoot him twice in the head and
right on the spot too.
Wait, those 2 bullet holes were an inch
No,
apart.
There's no fucking way.
No.
You better play the lottery, bitch.
Yeah,
if you
right.
got that kind of
Because if I'm shooting a gun after a tussle, it's going like 6 different. I'm gonna shoot it till the magazine's gone.
yeah.
I'm not gonna
in
be
the
like, let me
ceiling,
do
in
it
the
directly
wall.
here and directly here.
Y'all will have
It's gonna
at
be
the crime
everywhere.
scene.
It'll be like,
all those little beams they put up
Yep.
to see which
Yeah.
way the bullets all went.
Yeah.
It'd be all over the place.
then you'd be lucky shot.
Yeah. So Judith said all this, and then she said she went to see Shelly and Angela because she didn't know what to do.
Wow.
Call
Okay.
911, you dumbass.
I typed, is this story adding up for you? Because it's not for
No.
me. I think
No.
we've already determined.
Like the
It's
fuck?
not adding up for the Broken Arrow police.
No.
Thank God.
So, do you remember back? Let's go back to the scene. Police surveyed the scene. They didn't see a sign of a struggle. They didn't see a sign of any kind of
No.
altercation.
Yeah. No tussle.
No tussle was going on. I just feel like she is digging her own
Mhm.
grave
Yeah.
with this story. Yeah. So they arrested her right at the hospital.
Of
Did
course.
they?
Yep.
Good.
Wheeled her
That's good
hospital
for
bed
her.
out.
Good for them.
Got her in the popo
Man,
car.
we need you to change out of this nightgown
No, they just brought her in
into
that.
your
Oh,
orange
handcuffs,
jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Naked button all.
Yeah, they just.
Oh, poor baby, butt out.
That's a shame.
So next, the police want to talk to Angela, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
she's
they
involved.
can't. They can't find her.
Look, she went to the Philippines. She said, fuck both of y'all. We're out.
And Shelly is still arrested at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you about that in a second. But they can't find Angela, so they request phone records for all 3 of the ladies.
Yes, which I love when they do that.
Me too. They also issued a material witness warrant for Angela's arrest.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes, like when I'm doing these researching these stories, sometimes because I hear such crazy shit, I go, how have I made it to this age of my life and not been arrested for something?
Literally.
Like I'm a good person, but I feel
but
like
I've done some dumb shit.
no, I've done some dumb shit. It's not that. It's just that in all of these things, I learned that whether you're innocent or guilty, they could just arrest the
If
fuck
they
out
want.
of
Hell
you
yeah.
for
They'll
no
cuff your ass up in a second.
no
Absolutely.
in your hospital gown.
In
They
your
don't give a
hospital
fuck.
gown.
Okay,
As long as you're not in the mental institute, then they can't cuff you.
I feel like they'll zip tie you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so you asked about how long. So 48 hours after Ken's body was found, they had Judith and Shelly in jail.
Right.
The next day, they found Angela.
Oh.
And she told the authorities, yes, I was at Ken's house, but I didn't know about Ken's murder.
What?
She said she stayed in the front of the house and didn't go in the bedroom.
I'm not going in the murder zone, bitch.
Okay, maybe I'm morbid, but I would have to go in the bedroom.
100%.
I would have to go see that.
You're like, really, what's going on back here, you two bitches?
No, you like told me you shot dad. So
now what?
Need
I'd
to
have
see
to
it.
go see proof. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to see it. Well, she said she didn't cover up or stage any suicide.
I bet not.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's saying I didn't cover up or stage a suicide.
But investigators are like, they tell her a little white lie, which they're allowed to do.
They're allowed to
Yeah.
do.
They told her they found the security camera in the house.
Which they did.
Which
They did not tell her there was nothing
There was
on
nothing
it.
on
Right.
there.
So when she heard that, she was like, boom, I want a lawyer. She lawyered up. That
Good
was
for
it.
her.
That was the end of
I
the
don't
interview.
blame her. That's what I would do.
So we got 3 women, 3 different stories.
Like tied at the freaking umbilical cord.
Yes.
Crazy.
The police didn't know who was telling the truth, but they had a gut feeling that the 2 daughters helped stage the suicide and that Judith
Which
really
sounds
was.
right.
Yeah.
It seems plausible for sure.
Where do they go from here? They took a deep dive into Ken and Judith's marriage. The police did.
Okay.
They looked into her claims of physical abuse. In the last, I think it says 6 years, there had been some domestic disturbance calls.
Okay.
Really?
Yes. Was Judith telling the truth about all this? Not really. Because Ken was the one making
Who
the
called? I
calls,
figured.
Oh no.
I figured.
saying that Judith was threatening to kill him.
Okay.
I figured.
I'm asking for why are these 2 people around each other?
Right.
Because there's some people in life that love that toxic ass shit and they cannot
you're
get
right.
away from it. They can't.
It's true.
It's like a fucking suction hold, and they love it.
Drama.
They want it and they need it.
They'll stir it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So during these domestic disturbance calls, nobody ever got arrested.
Okay.
So once they got the phone records,
Basically, they're like, this bitch is crazy.
ooh wee, hold on to your booties.
Oh,
Judith had been texting her daughters for weeks before the murder, talking about how much she hated Kenneth.
Why the fuck is she keep going over there then?
5 days before the murder, Judith texted Angela about a gun. She talked about specifically a .22 caliber pistol.
Oh, okay.
Motherfucker.
Oh, what was the murder weapon, by the way? A 22. Yeah. So to me, that she's planning this. This is intent.
Bro.
This is premeditated.
Premeditated.
They
Okay.
got her.
Yes.
Got him.
Why are you putting all that in text message?
Okay, that's
It's
the
26.
stupidest shit that I've ever heard in my life. If I'm going to say some fucking crazy ass shit, I'm calling you to tell you some fucking crazy. I'm not. You got me fucked up if you think I'm going to text you some
Text you.
dumb shit.
Put all that shit down in
Hey,
writing.
listen, motherfucker. I'll fucking kill you.
Listen,
Click.
motherfucker. Check your email. I'm about to tell you what is what.
I'm about to end your ass in an email.
Okay, so at this point, and I don't know why, maybe they did earlier, but it's only like 3 days.
Right.
So the police reached out to Ken's sons. Remember, he had 2
Right.
and 1 daughter. The 2 sons are Keith and Kevin.
That's cute.
And Ken. The mom must have had a thing with the
Yeah,
K
that's
names.
how ours are.
Yeah. The police asked them about the relationship between Ken and Judith. They said she was stealing money from Ken
Ugh.
every chance she got.
She was a dirty,
Accountant.
trifling ass accountant.
The boys told detectives that Ken was tired of Judith's thievery.
Thieving ass
Thievery.
bitch.
Thieving ass bitch. You know what else she stole?
Panties.
Ken's medication.
I bet
Oh.
she got the methadone.
Yeah. The boys said their dad would confront her and she would just be like, I didn't take your shit. You're too much on your drugs.
So Judy's a fucking crackhead too.
The sons think
whatever.
that. I never got any confirmation, but the son thinks he has a drug problem. So
It's that redneck Riviera.
it is. So because of the drug part, Ken put the camera in the kitchen.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, that makes sense.
Why he did it. He wanted
Okay.
to. And he caught her stealing.
Dirty.
But
What is,
There's
I
no
just
footage,
don't
so
even
we
know
don't
what
know.
methadone would do for you.
it just probably
didn't need
numbs you
it.
to death and like
Like where you're like,
No,
Yeah.
thanks.
So he caught her. She was just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But bro,
they're geriatric at this point and she's stealing this shit from him.
I am not like, I'm not victim blaming, but change the fucking locks, Ken.
Right.
Change the locks.
Do not accept any more chicken.
Y'all
She
are
could have fucking
divorced
just
at this
poisoned
point.
him.
No shit.
That would have been the smartest fucking thing for Judy
That's
to
what
do.
women do.
Just poison. Hey, Kenny boy, I brought you some chicken. You're
Eat up, motherfucker.
stupid.
So the week before the murder, Ken had told his sons that things with Judith were really bad. He wanted her gone.
But they're divorced.
He wanted her to leave.
Leave this up
Yes.
and never come back.
Change the locks at that point. Why are we not?
Oh no, she'd find her way to wiggle in.
Well, why are we not calling the police at this point?
Because he probably liked the toxicity just as much as she did.
I
If
guess
they
so.
lasted 25 years.
I'm thinking he really did.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if they were doing this for 25 years.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
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 So the police are like, okay, well, we've got this side of the story now. We're going to look at Judith's finances, see if we can,
The accountant.
connect the dots. And she had a mountain of fucking debt.
Of course, her fucking ass did.
She was going under fast. And
So she definitely didn't have the 21,000.
okay, so I'm thinking at this point when I'm doing the research, girl, you got to be smart enough to know that if you kill him, you're not going to get the money. You're divorced from him.
Right.
Dead ass.
Think about it.
That doesn't make any sense.
But what we don't know, which I'm about to tell you, is that a condition of their divorce
Fuck.
was that Judith maintained the right of survivorship on the house,
Oh, okay.
which means if Ken dies, she gets the house and the land that it's on. Now we have motive.
Yep.
Now all the pieces have come together
Yep.
for the investigators
Oh my God.
and the prosecutors. Bitch.
Judy, you dumbass bitch.
So I'm going to go jump straight to trial.
Because we already know what's up.
March 2017 is when the trial started.
2017.
2017. Shelley and Angela weren't charged, but they were called to the witness stand.
So they dropped charges on Shelley.
And Angela,
Okay.
whatever. They did testify.
Against or?
Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
so against. That's
They
shocking.
The way they explained it or described it was that the daughters said as minimal as they could to answer the questions, but it was still enough to put the.
I wonder if that was part of their condition to not be charged as accessory.
I don't know.
Maybe.
So Judith's defense stayed with the whole battered woman
Mhm.
thing. Now on March 20th.
Numbers are not happening.
March twin.
Numbers are hard.
It's not words, it's numbers.
You know what? I don't drink at work, and this is why I don't drink at work.
That's good.
You typing in March twins.
It was actually March 10th, 2017.
Yes.
The jury deliberated for less than 2 hours.
I bet.
The verdict guilty of first-degree murder, and she got life in prison.
First degree is premeditated.
Yes.
There you go.
Well, yeah, they
Second
had all that.
is
Life. Oh, poor Judith. You're fucking 10, 15 years of life left. I hate when they sentence people who are in
without
that.
her methadone, she may only
Without her
last a week.
When they sentence people that are so old, they're like, yeah, we're going to sentence them to life.
What
Two
do you
years
want? What do
later,
you want
they
him to
die.
do? What do you want him to do?
I mean, I don't want anything
You're too
more. I
old.
just
We
think
can't-
it's
just
crazy.
go home. We
To where
forgive
they
you.
make it to where they make it sound like it's so hardcore of we're gonna sentence them to life.
70-year-old woman
and it's
gets
110
sentenced to 3
years.
days of death in jail.
And then they die in jail like 6 weeks later.
So in 2018, a year after she was convicted, she filed an appeal.
Of course she
The judge
did.
was like, no ma'am.
No, bitch.
Nope.
Nope, your sentence stands. So Judith Nix is eligible for parole, but she will be 108 years old
Oh fuck.
when she qualifies. So
Okay.
Bro, can you imagine she lived to 108 years old?
they gotta let
And
her
got
out
out.
at that point.
They're like, all right, you defied all things.
Look,
The bitch is 108. Let her fucking
she's
ass
been
out.
like 38 years doing Orange is the New Black.
Uh-huh.
Fucking let her out. So Judith was 69 when she killed Kenneth, who was also 69. She was
69.
She was 70 when she went into jail and was sentenced. And today, she is still in the Mabel Bassett Correctional Center in McLeod, Oklahoma,
She's thriving probably
living her best life.
with no methadone.
She ain't got bills.
Yeah, so she's good.
yeah.
3 hots and a cot.
What happens to all of her debt at that point?
What do the debt collectors do?
That's what I'm
nothing.
asking.
Nothing.
No.
She
Like it just,
They
like
just-
bankrupt basically.
Yeah.
I'll fall off the face of the earth to get rid of my debt. Be good. I'll move to the Philippines.
You're gonna kill your husband to get rid of your debt.
Ugh.
He'd be better off killing me because I have a heavier life insurance policy.
Okay, so I have to tell you,
Just saying.
I saved this to the end. When I started researching the story, I was like, 70-year-old woman kills husband. I was like, God, she's a sweet little old lady. How could she have done
Did
that?
she look like a sweet old lady?
I mean, she looked like a little old lady to
Right.
me. She wasn't really like, I don't know. She wasn't anything either way to me. But then as I started digging into it, her age when she killed him was 69. I was like, well, she wasn't that old. Like, I just
That's
flipped.
because-
I just flipped the
Yeah.
switch.
This
70. Oh, bless her heart.
and
69.
then no,
you bitch.
Yeah.
thriving at
Yeah.
69.
Bitch. So anyway, I guess because I'm 56,
That's
know,
exactly why.
age is
Because
like,
I don't feel like 56 is that old.
well,
But
thank you.
70, 69 is a little old for me
Yeah.
right now.
I think 69 is the line.
But I also feel like you and I, our souls are similar.
You're an
'cause
older soul.
I'm very old.
I'm
soul,
a teenage soul.
which I love. You keep me young. I love
Balances
it.
out.
I love
Let
it.
me tell you my sources.
Let's hear.
OKOffender.gov, news9.com, TulsaWorld.com, Fox 23 News, And of course, I'm on a kick with Snapped.
You are hardcore with the snap.
Season 32, episode 2, Judith Nix. Yeah. I'm
Dirty Judith.
I'm Dirty Judy.
Are you listening to that, Harold? He is on the Snapped
the
right
women,
now.
all the Snapped episodes are women who lose their shit and kill their man.
Yep.
Okay.
I used to watch that whenever I was pregnant with Aiden.
Oh God, I can't
Because
watch
you were
I was
fixing a
pregnant.
snap,
I don't know
bitch.
why I watched
I think that would be the worst time
Right.
because your hormones are all up. Like that would be
Exactly.
your most likely to kill when you're pregnant.
She had every
I don't know
reason
what I was
to be
thinking.
raging at that point.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Every
That's
reason.
a story for a different day.
It's like a 60-year-old story.
It's
too.
a grits after dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so do y'all want a couple funnies before we go?
Are you
Yes.
going to do funnies or are you going to do true or false?
I'm going to do funnies. Actually, they're not necessarily hilarious, but they are stupid criminals.
I'll laugh
I
like they're
love those.
hilarious, I think.
Criminales estúpidos.
Estúpido.
I looked it up. That's how you say it in Spanish.
Nice.
I'm so proud of you.
So, thank you. So I went to the mirror.co.uk. So this is going to have some British tones in it. When,
Please speak when you're doing
No,
the British. Why?
I can't. I'm not good at it. Okay. But the first story, even though they did it, would you like a cup of tea?
Go full Bridgerton.
Oh, I love that show.
I do too. All right. Even though the UK is reporting it, it's a California story.
Okay.
Okay.
2 women decided to rob a California nail supply store.
Why?
Initially, they made it out with around $600 worth of money. How much fucking nail shit are you stealing to get
She wants nails
From
for the
a-
next 6 years.
Fuck.
Shit's expensive, Tammy.
They got out with $600 worth of merchandise. Then one of the ladies decided to come back into the store because she had dropped her phone during the getaway.
Oh, okay.
She came back for it.
Stupid bitch.
Idiot.
They were caught on the store's surveillance video during the robbery and the cell phone retrieval.
Hi, I dropped a phone last week.
Oh,
during
no.
a robbery.
No. The woman who came in demanding her cell phone reportedly assaulted the store's owner because
Holy shit.
because the owner was like, I'll give you your phone if you give me my
shit
$600 back.
That would have been a good swap here.
You stupid.
Not go to jail.
No, she wanted her nail shit and her phone. And she assaulted the store owner.
Let me guess. She called the cops.
And I think she also stole the store owner's phone. So
What the fuck?
This is in
Yes.
California.
So they
Crazy.
so they leave, and the police later identified them as Kadriana Hall 24 and Serenati Banks 19.
What
God
a
damn.
name, huh?
Mm-hmm. They left the crime scene in a black vehicle, and they were sitting outside their home in the car about an hour later when police found them.
That
You're trying
sounds
to
like
figure
our
out,
Gonzalez
hey,
Ulta theme.
Should we go to Mexico or is this the
Philippines,
The
bro.
Philippines, yeah. Reports say that all the merchandise was in plain sight when the 2 women
Of
were
course.
sitting in the car. They got arrested.
So they kept it in the car?
Yeah,
They're
trying to
figure out
fucking
what to
They
idiots.
hadn't even
do.
got out the car.
Stupid.
They made it home and they just stayed in the motherfucking car.
I mean, I would have thrown that shit in the nearest garbage can.
I would have at least drove. All right, I forgot my phone, bro. But let's go fucking drop this shit off, and then we'll go back for the
I would
phone
have
tomorrow.
definitely went to my house and took the shit out and hid
Yeah,
it somewhere.
Right.
So the store owner suffered minor injuries after being thrown to the ground. And so they'll have assault charges added
on.
to
Yeah.
their thievery.
Idiot.
Yes. Okay. Christopher Bauer, 32, and Christopher Mate, 20. So they're
Mate.
both Christophers. Risked killing themselves and those nearby when they used gasoline to blow up an ATM
Oh my
at
god.
a petrol station
Not the petrol.
in Chato Stockports. After scooping up 25,000 pounds from the mangled ATM. I can't do it
my
anymore.
God.
That's it. The pair drove off in a getaway car.
The pair they done drove off.
They
But here's
almost
what they
died.
did. That was stupid enough.
That's stupid as fuck.
But here's what they did. When they drove away, they were leaving little dollar bills scattered around.
Oh my God.
2,500 pounds worth of notes scattered.
Notes.
Yeah. And the
Along
police-
the way, like fucking breadcrumbs.
like Hansel and fucking Gretel.
Yeah.
And so the police followed them and they, caught up with them.
Hey
God.
guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
what y'all got there?
So one of the guys had glass fragments in his shoes from
Oh.
the ATM machine. And another one of the guy's blood was found on the ATM machine.
Can you imagine the questioning on that? Like, listen, motherfuckers, we followed the shit like we already fucking know. We know.
Like that dude that was high that broke into the Sonic and stole the frozen corn dogs and just left a fucking trail of them.
That's so stupid.
Yes. They were stupid. Putting gasoline in an ATM machine to blow it up. Bro, you might blow the money up.
Petrol.
But the petrol station.
I mean,
you might blow the money up.
No shit.
So anyway, they got 8 years in jail.
Really?
Yeah. All right, this is the last one. After a meeting between Bobby Heath and his barrister.
What the fuck is a barrister?
Over there, that's your lawyer.
Oh.
A barrister.
Yes.
My barrister.
Barrister. So Bobby Heath was meeting with his barrister, Charlotte Johnson.
Oh.
After the meeting, so he must have done some shit already.
That he needed Charlotte in on.
After the meeting, she realized that her Samsung Galaxy mobile phone
was
missing and reported it to the police. And now they were in the courthouse meeting, okay? And so there was an officer there who was in the courthouse, and he's like, "Give me the CCTV footage." Closed captioning.
The CCTV.
TV, you know they got that shit everywhere.
I
over
do.
there.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the bathroom, they're watching you. Yeah. So Bobby Heath, 26, was caught on CCTV taking the Samsung Galaxy. He had been there because he was
like, you're my lawyer, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking jack you too.
well. She was trying to defend him on drug and driving offenses.
Fuck's drug and driving.
I was assuming like drinking and driving here, but you're on
like
drugs.
you're whacked out on drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So inquiries to locate Heath eventually traced him to an address in Rochester, Kent. And he was
You could
arrested.
be the narrator.
He was arrested and subsequently charged with theft. And I wrote, "Bro, you're going to steal your own defense attorney's phone."
Your own fucking people. Your own
She's
barrister.
just trying to help you, bro.
You stupid motherfucker.
Stupid
Idiot.
motherfucker. That's it.
It's crazy.
I love that. I want you to find, I'll help. I'll look. We need to find dumbass Louisiana criminals.
We do.
Because that would be fucking
Please
hilarious.
feel free.
Sure, there's
Bring
a
those
list.
next time you come. Yeah.
I'll do a story next time.
Okay, awesome. Are you going to bring Bri next time?
I'll try and drag her ass out.
All right.
Her husband got her under lock and key at this point.
Oh, girl.
Like Rapunzel.
It was just
Let that hair flow down.
Like Rapunzel. No, they're just bitches.
Next thing you know, she's going to be staging his suicide.
right.
Bitch,
He wouldn't let me podcast.
Don't put the gun under his hands,
Right.
you stupid bitch.
Can you imagine?
No, because I would rat your ass out in a second.
I believe it.
And we could just call Kayla and we'll incriminate Kayla. We'll say Kayla was the shooter. That way we'll be safe in jail.
Yeah.
It's the only way. That's my sister.
Oh, okay.
It's the only way we'll be safe in jail.
Great. Throw her
Yeah,
under the
she's
bus.
a
she
real
has
ass
to come
thug.
with us because
Like,
there's no
we
way
would
we'd
die
survive
in jail. She's a real ass.
She's the
Okay.
one.
Thank y'all for doing this.
Yes.
Of course.
Harold, again, happy anniversary and thank you for camera
Happy
switching.
anniversary. He's like, bitches, stop
Happy
fucking
anniversary.
talking.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Hey.
What you cooking for your anniversary dinner?
Harold. Alligator sauce pecan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And we're going to get to watch LSU.
Which I'm excited
Hell
for.
Yeah, I am too.
Mhm.
All right, people. Remember, YouTube. Go to Patreon if you want to help support the parts of the show and my alcohol problem.
Thank you, Redneck Riviera.
So Patreon, Patreon/grits. We've got different levels there. And Kyrstin said she just recently listened to the roast or
y'all need to do
getting to know Tammy.
the $10 Patreon. Like every time it pops up, I'm like, what the fuck is it? Oh, Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Like it'll pop up like straight $10. I'm like, what the fuck did I spend just $10 on? And it's Patreon. So then I'm reminded to go listen. But what did you label it?
I don't know if it was
Get
like
to know you.
getting to know Tammy or
But it was really funny.
the kids tell stories
was
on
really
Tammy.
funny.
Oh, I love that.
You need to do another one because it was I didn't know that Dalton and Colin became friends.
Through video games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't give away any more of it.
Well, I mean, sorry.
We have
But so I always tell, like, Blaze meets people
yeah.
through the video game, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like, it's fucking weird.
No,
Like,
it's not.
And it's not.
It's not.
Because they
People
talk to
do
each
it.
other every day.
But they met each other when they were adults through video games.
Still.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know,
I'm not going to go drop my kid off
How
somewhere,
much better is that?
it
though?
just sounds like pedophile.
Like, but I think that Blaze met one of his friends, Gavin. We went to his birthday party, and they've become good friends.
Oh, good.
Through video game.
Good.
He lives in the state, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't live in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
Or
Good
Broken Arrow.
people.
Okay.
Good people.
Good people.
Awesome.
We've
We'll get
met
them to listen to the
parents.
podcast.
I got that.
All right, people, please go support the show at Patreon. Like we said, there's a lot of bonus content there that you can listen to, and we appreciate your help. I wanted to give a shout out to, I believe it was Evan. He heard me on one episode talking about gnats, and he has sent me a foolproof way to get rid of the gnats.
And
Nice.
that's
thank
exciting.
you. Yes, I know. I was like, oh my God, thanks.
Hell
thanks.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Evan.
So y'all keep the messages coming. We're getting a lot of support everywhere. We appreciate y'all so much. Anything else, ladies?
I think that we appreciate the input on people just kind of giving us
yeah,
the little tidbits of, hey, you should do this, or hey, you should help with that.
yeah,
Like,
and people have
I
been
love that.
commenting on YouTube a lot
Yes,
more
that's
lately.
awesome.
So
I love that.
we're getting a
Love
lot of
that.
traffic. So we appreciate y'all so much. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. We have fun doing it, but we need people to listen. So thank
Yeah.
you. All right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right.
That's it.
Everybody. Good. Y'all come
Good.
back and see me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all tell your mom and them to listen, and we're going to let Zydeco Mike take us out.
Bye.
Bye.